Hello and welcome to Stylish Chats with Creatives. Today on the podcast, I've got Jo Bean. Hi Jo, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. It is lovely to see your face again. I've not seen you in such a long time.
I know it's been a few years, hasn't it? Actually, do you know what? I believe it was about 2015.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, you've just killed me off there.
Yeah.
2015, really?
Yes. I know, it feels like
Wow.
yesterday though, doesn't it? Hey?
Yeah, it feels like... Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long ago.
Yeah, it's quite
It really doesn't. Yeah. So just to introduce the listeners a little bit, we met at a fashion house in Leicester, right? And,
yeah, that's right. Yes.
And you were designer and pattern cutter?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I was brought in to do a bit of the styling to help the team like elevate it a little bit.
Yeah. Try and get the range out there a little bit. We just needed our own photography work. And I think we were building up a website. So that's where you came in. Yes, and so that's 2015. Holy smokes.
Oh, that is such a long time ago. It makes me feel really old.
I am really old.
Yeah. I really feel really old now. Oh, that's my dog barking. Oh. She's just gone to notify the postman that I'm not in.
Right.
You know, classic doorbell they are, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ours actually howl when we come back in the house. It's quite bizarre. The little Jack Russell starts to kind of do this little, it's very strange, like a little whiny, howly thing. Then the other one joins in and, we're having a conversation. It's great.
Yeah. It's like a little chorus welcoming you into the house. That's really cool. Coco only ever barks when someone knocks on the door, so it's probably post, but they can wait.
She's a good kid.
Yeah, she is, bless her. So I would love to chat to you about how you got into your designing and pattern cutting role and how you got there, really, because I think I'm guessing the industry's changed a lot. It has for me. So I'm guessing for you, it's changed a lot as well. And just to kind of find out how you got into it, really.
Wow, gosh, I started, when I left college, I actually opened up my own business. I opened up a shop. I was only 21 and I was making my own little label quite badly in retrospect. It was quite bad. And then kind of taking on vintage clothes. So, old Levi's and old leather jackets. And I did that for a couple of years, but then kind of found out that I probably wasn't very good at running my own business at that age. And, literally this is like a proof of your age, isn't it? But this is actually kind of before the internet. So, I was looking for a job. I was looking for something in design, and really just kind of winging it. I was buying the newspaper and finding ads and just literally applying for them. And I probably must have done that about 30 times to different ads. Obviously, applying way over my head, design room director, obviously not hearing anything back. And I basically, it was obviously somebody got back to me within Leicester, and I started to work as a junior designer there. Kind of first introduction of, dealing with a high street multiple store, like little junior me sitting there trying to, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. It really kind of just evolved from there, and then kind of, that sounded like a big head. I did kind of get headhunted from a few different places. And then got some amazing contracts to work on. At one point, I was working with Topshop. I say Topshop because that's, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. I was working on that account. I had a cool little company car, little convertible. I used to drive down to London, go to my Topshop meetings. That was very cool. Oh, my words of God.
That's all right. So Topshop, back in the day, like when I was a teenager, so too many years ago, was like the Mecca. Like it was one of the bee's knees, wasn't it? Yeah. So what kind of things were you designing there?
It was jersey wear. So dressy stuff, basically, if we
Yeah.
know, you know, if not knowing the terminologies or anything. But yeah, I work in for a manufacturer that, well, actually they weren't manufacturing themselves. They were putting the work out, but it was a supplier that worked directly with Topshop. So basically, I'd work with a few of the buyers across like dresses, skirts, tops, and then create basically a little capsule range, take it down to a meeting, and go to their wonderful offices down Berners Street. It was,
Yeah.
and it was a funny building. Yes, say it was a hive. You'd see all these, you know, weird and wonderful people walking around with garments in their hands, you know, rushing off, and you'd be sitting there waiting for your meeting, and say that you go into your meeting, and you just, it was great. Like, you'd sit with the buyers and you'd really develop ideas and find out what was selling, what was not selling, you know, how you can move a winning shape on to the next winning shape. And sometimes the little meeting rooms that you'd be in, they'd be taken up. So then you'd go up to like the top floor, which was like the cafeteria area. So you'd be sitting in the cafeteria area, a little table with your bag, showing your samples. You know, there's all these Topshop wigs and, you know, buyers and everything tottering around. It was an amazing. And then obviously after your meeting, you then go to the store and spend another 2 hours in there getting completely lost and immersed in everything. But yeah, I think now, I went down to Oxford Street with my daughter before Christmas, and it's so sad to see it all closed, because that would be, you know, you go down shopping to London or doing a bit of comp shopping or something, that would be the place that you would go to first. And it's just not there. And it's, I found it quite sad.
Yeah, it's really changing, isn't it? It's kind of, I think it's gone quite, all of a sudden, quite quickly online. And I think the pandemic maybe hasn't helped, because the people were just stuck at home, weren't they? So they had no choice but to look online. But it is a shame that somewhere like Oxford Street is starting to, stuff's starting to shut and things. I hope.
Yeah, it's very, very different to walk down there. There seems to be a lot of like American sweet shops or vape shops. It's it's very, very different. Very different.
So not quite the fashion hub that it was.
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
Oh, that's a shame. It, like, because we've all remember days where we've been down to London on Oxford Street and been like, oh my God, let's go in Topshop, and the Topshop be like 3 floors or something, or you know, and you'd just be in there for hours. Yeah, absolutely hours. And didn't they used to do like little concession stands as well, didn't they, where they had like little new designers out and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, the ground floor, that was like a mecca for anything new coming through. It was just amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah. And it's a shame that everything's gone online, I'm quite honest with you, because there's nothing. One of the things really of going online is returns, because, you know, obviously you go shopping and you take a load of stuff into the changing room, try it on, you know, find something that doesn't fit, you put it back on the shelf. But now with buying everything online, you know, people order more, you know, if I'm going to order 3 sizes, but, you know, inevitably that all gets returned, and it's quite massive, isn't it? It's a massive thing for everybody, like the postage system, and, you know, the company, they're dealing with returns, and so no, there's nothing better than just a good old stomp down the high street and popping in and out shops, in and out the changing rooms, taking a photo.
yeah, exactly. I do think as well, like you were saying about the stuff online, I think that people ordering lots of different things, you can't just try on, say, for example, I can't try on like a size 16 and a 14 to see what fits, because the sizing's so off.
Yes.
And you just go, oh, well, you know, I might even be, I think I was chatting to somebody the other day, my wedding dress was a size 18, and at the time I was a size 14, because just the sizes are off. And I think that's then the struggle that big brands are now having. What do they do with the returns? Do they put them back into their current stock? Do they sell them at a discount? And, or, you know, we've all heard of people burning clothes, because that happens as well. It is quite a big impact, really.
Massive impact, yeah, massive impact. But that's the beauty of it, is as well as going into a shop, like you say about the sizing, it's almost like, don't look at size tab, just go and know what, kind of look at things that that's going to fit you, and just forget what size tab says.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I'm like a size kind of 8, 10, 12, but I've got tops, I think there's one that's a size 20. I just like it because it's all baggy, and it's just, I liked it. So forget the size tab.
yeah 100%. Did you ever find with your pattern cutting, did you have to stick to a certain standard size that you were given to do pattern cutting?
Yes, definitely. It's with pattern cutting, so there's me saying forget size tab. It's incredibly technical. The other side of it, it's your tolerances of half a centimetre, but when you're creating a block, your first size block for your original sample, I mean, some stores would be a size 10, some would be a 12, and if it's more plus sizes, you're probably looking at about size 16. And you've got to work the pattern with certain increments, and you can only make the pattern to one size, so kind of as an example, a certain store, their average size customer would be 5'7". They'd have average proportions. So, you've got an average size length body, average legs, just, which we aren't all average. Everybody is so different. So, you've got to make your patterns to fit that average. So, say a classic like a jumpsuit, you've made that completely average, but you've got a long torso, so you'll go and try that jumpsuit on, and it's gonna cut you in half. Or what I always find is my legs are quite small, so I always have to turn everything up. Mind you, actually, I don't go shopping anymore. That's a bit of a one. So, and yes, and then obviously with grazing, which obviously gives you your other sizes that will stick with that particular style. All those little increments, it's incredibly technical. There's a small increment for your neck, and a neck drop, and an arm. It's very technical, but really quite interesting. Really interesting. I was working for a company that makes PDF patterns, and I did a massive bit of research into kids' growth and kids' skeletal, like the developments, how they go from like age when they're born up until teenagers, and it's really, really interesting, because you don't just grow proportionally and averagely. And a couple of little facts that come up, and one that's always stuck with me is the teenage years. So after puberty, basically why all teenagers are so clumsy is because their legs start to grow proportionally 6 months before their torso, so they kind of get all a little bit trip over stuff, and
a bit gangly.
It's because they're actually out of proportion. So my daughter is 15, so when I was working this all out, it was a bit, now I understand. The fact she still trips over, she's still quite clumsy, but that was a really good insight into like the technicalities of making patterns for especially children. That they're quite, it's very different, because obviously a lady's pattern, you're sticking to the height, you're sticking to the size, and obviously children grow and get taller. So
that's quite interesting. That I didn't realize it. Like, it makes complete sense, but it doesn't make sense as to why I still fall over a lot now, but 20 years later. But it does make sense.
Still growing up, maybe that.
That's it. Yeah. I'll eventually hit 6 foot. There'll be a time. I'll be 50 and I'll hit 6 foot because my legs are still gangly.
Brilliant.
So how over the year, how has your career changed because of tech and because of stuff moving away from bricks and mortar shops and things like that? How has your role changed?
Oh, it's changed quite massively, actually. So from working kind of for manufacturers, I kind of mentioned the PDF company. I kind of stepped out of the trade, as it were, to go and work for this company for a little while. And so that's obviously very different, because you're not creating a garment, you're not creating that product, you're creating, you're kind of creating the product that nobody would see. So the pattern, that was very different. It was very good, because again, that was just quite technical. It has very much changed. As I say, I'm kind of looking at the moment, looking at work back in the trade, and it is massively different. It is high tech. I mean, you've got all 3D sampling and everything now, but I still believe customers, they still buy garments. When you go to a meeting or when you're sending samples off to buyers, you're still going to need the garment to touch and try on and everything. So, I mean, it's a good visual, I think, which I can't quite get my head around. I've tried to look at it, but, I can sketch out an idea before I've switched my laptop on, let alone get my head around trying to use Adobe. I did get quite frustrated with that, but I think I'm just kind of naturally leaning a different way. I think I don't really fully know at the moment, but it's going different ways, and I think just trying new things, really. I mean, over last year, just amazing experiences that have just kind of come my way, really. Like last year, I was involved with the production company behind Great British Sewing Bee.
Amazing.
It was so cool. It was incredibly cool. And just, it kind of happened really bizarrely, really. It was something that was due. I was kind of due to do it, found out about it the previous year, but of my availability, I couldn't fully commit to it. Mm-hmm. And kind of kept in contact with the sewing producer, just a little bit cheeky, like, good luck with the show, and just keep in contact, don't forget me. And I had an email from her about March time last year, and if I wanted to work with them, basically, and work with some of the, because do you watch the show?
Yes.
You watch it, yeah. Oh, do you know what? See, I don't actually watch much TV, but I watch the Sewing Bee, and I love Sewing Bee.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, absolutely. But I always used to say, I'd love to go on it, but this is quite funny because I can't, because I've worked in the trade. Yeah. And like my daughter would kind of like jokingly say, you're too professional.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
it's a little bit cringy, but sorry, excuse me. So yes, obviously this kind of opportunity came around. So keeping in contact with the sewing producer, messaging her, just good luck with the show, hope everything's okay, and basically don't forget me. She emailed me beginning of the year to see if I was interested in working on the sewing instructions. And I was obviously, hell yeah. And then there was a mention of, would you like to come up on the set? Which I know. I'm like, yeah. Oh. I've never been on a TV set or anything like that in my life, which I was incredibly nervous, because obviously these people know what they're doing and I didn't. But I was there kind of on the technical side, so I'd written these instructions. Anyway, went through these instructions. I'm the lead up to being on the set. This is worked with the sewing instructions, it was amazing. So I obviously can't tell you what they are because I had to sign an NDA. But I know a few of the things that are coming up in the show this year. Basically wrote the instructions for those, and amazing. Completely loved it. Completely immersed myself into it. Yeah. This is
Oh.
sewing bee. And then I went up to the set because they film it up in Leeds.
Yeah.
In Farsley in Leeds, and it's a converted mill. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing place, and it's just got like 10,000 steps. So, you know, you're coming away and your thighs have really had a good, you know, a good working out for all these steps. But I mean, I was there when they were setting up the rig. Now, I didn't know what setting up the rig was, which, you know, I found out that's just setting up the set. And it was just amazing. I'm like standing there, you know, putting buttons in a tube, thinking, oh, I'm the same piece.
Yeah.
You know, and then another point, I was getting some fabric out, some delivery of some fabric had come in, and I was putting it on the bolt rolls. And I'm standing on one of the desks and like flipping it out, you know, look, I'm rolling this fabric really well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm on the sewing bee set. And this guy comes in, and it's like, oh, really cool. It's like, hi, I can't remember his name. You know, what's your name? It's like, Joe. Fist pump, you know, like, oh, he's really cool. And it was like really cool here. And the next thing you see all these boxes come in, and then this huge, great camera starts being put together. And again, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm on the sewing bee set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't at it for very long. I mean, the guys up there, they worked so incredibly hard, the hours, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I was really knackered when I got back home. I was only up there for a few days at a time. But then when I went back, because actually the first time, they actually called them the Talent. So Patrick, Esme, and Sarah, they're called Talent.
Yeah.
I personally think everybody's talented, you know, but... they're called the Talent, and then I didn't meet them originally the first time I went up, and then when I went back, they were there, and you know, I love the sewing bee, so I'm trying to act really cool, like not go, oh my God, that's me, you know. Yeah, like, hi. So I'm trying to act really cool, and the top production floor, this is where the change rooms and everything are for the Talent. There were some desks there with some sewing machines. I'm just sitting there kind of just, you know, doing some stuff and looking busy. And Patrick Grant comes and sits on the sewing machine in front of me. I'm like, is that cool, Joe? Trying to help him work this sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very bizarre. He was fixing some his cycling trousers, actually using green thread on black trousers. I did say, do you want some black thread? But no, he didn't. Anyway. I did kind of, with Esme, I think, oh my God, she's so cool. She is just this cool little person. She's just, I mean, the outfit she has on, I probably can't tell you what that is, but she rocks, man. She's just awesome.
I can't wait to be her age and look as cool as she is, because she just looks incredible.
She is, absolutely. But it's not, I mean, she's in her 70s, I believe. I mean, if she doesn't dress like a mutter or anything, that sounds awful, but she doesn't dress like a mutter. She just dresses her age, but like cool.
Yeah,
absolutely
really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I always look at her and just think, oh, you just look cool.
Cool. She is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just cool. Like, oh, and Patrick as well. Like, he always dresses so nice as well.
Yes. Do you know what? He's incredibly tall.
He's
really, really tall. Yeah, I mean, my other half is 6'2", and Patrick was taller than him. I think Patrick must be about 8 foot tall, I think.
That's why he's using his tallness as a presence over the sewers, isn't he? Like, while they're in the competition. Just like, oh, what are you doing? And he's like towering above them.
Oh, but it is, I mean, people quite often say about like the time challenges, do they give them longer? No, they do get that set amount of hours. So say if they've got 5 hours to make something, they've got 5 hours.
Yeah.
And obviously when you're listening to it and the screen the other side of the production room, it's actually quite boring. you know,
Yeah.
because you're just listening to the conversation. It's just quite bizarre conversation sometimes you're listening to.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you watch it on the TV, it's all edited and it's all do. Here we go, here we finish, and la la la. And yeah, that was quite amazing. It's such a long day though. So when they do they do it over 2-3 days. Yeah, there's an awful lot of waiting around, and yeah.
I've only ever been on like one film TV set, and it was one of the longest days. And all of a sudden you're like, I can't talk too much about it because I've signed an NDA, but you're really busy for a little bit, and then you have nothing to do for a while, and then you're really busy again, and then nothing again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like 14 hours has gone past, and you're like, where is today gone?
Yeah. And I think I found that quite hard, because when I've been in a design room, it's like, you know, you get in there, you put your bags down, have a cup of tea, then what?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just constant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to somebody because I've got to get this done.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you're in this kind of environment where people do hang around and chat. And like, you stand there talking, thinking, talking, like, you Joe, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a whole different like ball game. Even for me to go from studio work to film is similar work, but it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing I can liken it to is like when you're doing big campaign shoots and you start at 8 a.m. and you're done when you're done. That might be 8 p.m. It might be 10. You're lucky at 6. So you know, it's very similar to that. But I quite enjoyed it, but it's a long day.
It is. And it's good if they're good people as well, isn't it? It's when you're all in that environment, I guess you're obviously all there for the same goal, and I suppose you kind of carry each other a little bit, don't you? And you know, that excitement of it. But so that was really different, incredibly different.
It sounds bloody awesome.
Oh, it was bloody awesome. I still honestly can't believe it. To say, my ultimate favourite programme, even when I'm watching it, if anybody wants to talk to me, it'll be like, pause the button, you know, pause TV. Like, what? Do you actually really need to talk to me right now? I'm watching Throwing Bee. You know, it's serious stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously just to be there, it's proper pinch me moments.
That's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. What a cool like, and that also just proves that if you gently nudge people, they remember who you are, and more often than not, you'll get a call back or you know, some work out of it. Yeah, I think that's because I'm the youngest of 4, so maybe I've just always had this kind of ability to let's be a little bit annoying. You know, just, you know, let's get away with something. It wasn't me. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it does help. And just be nice to people. I think I can't bear people just being awful, and you know. Yes, it does. And I think going for something a little bit different as well. Something else I did actually last week. I did as a guest speaker to Nottingham College, to the fashion students there.
That's cool.
It was very cool, but I was incredibly nervous. I was so incredibly nervous. I mean, we're chatting now, and there's, you know, no camera on, and I'm still fluffing up my words and everything, but you know, I was quite aware of this guest speaker thing, that I was on a big screen, and you know, there's about 30 students sitting there, first day back, probably all slumped over, like, and I started to talk, and my voice is starting to go all like, oh my god, and I'm sitting there trying to just breathe and talk, and I think I just went, come on, Joe. But by the end of it, I kind of calmed down a little bit, and a couple of students came to speak to me, and it was just amazing that you know, for all my waffle and what they understood of what I'd said, that, you know, they kind of hung on some of the words that I'd said, and they were asking, like, genuinely interested about what you were speaking about, and what, like my experience in it, and it meant a lot to them. And yeah, I kind of come away from that thinking, you know, feeling quite wholesome, and God, I'd love to do like tutoring or something, or just, you know, if that was available to me when I was younger, holy smokes, you know,
Yeah.
gosh, what an amazing thing. So yeah.
I think it's what a lovely thing that you can, by going and being a guest speaker, you can influence so many young minds as well.
Yeah, it's yes, yeah, because you just, as I say, you kind of relate it back to yourself, don't you? You just think, oh, you know, if, you know, when I was studying, because I've always loved what I do, you know, it's kind of inevitable I was going to do something with with clothes, fabric, a pair of scissors in my hand. You know, if I'd have kind of had that when I was at college, I would have been that one at the front, like writing everything down and like, oh my God, I love you, you know. You're a real fashion designer, you know. So I'm not saying that any of the you know, the students thought that about myself, but I think just to have, just to speak to somebody that's kind of been through it, because, you know, you don't know. And yes, very.
Yeah, are you looking to go back again? Are they having more guest speakers and stuff?
I believe so. Yes.
Ooh.
So I'm going to practice a little bit more next time, and you know.
yeah. I'm with you though, because I ramble a lot. Hence the reason of setting up a podcast. And here I am, mostly listening to people, trying to let people speak.
It's a difficult thing. Do you know what? It's really difficult. I mean, I quite often speak to myself. I mean,
sing to the dog.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the dogs are just the best. Absolutely the best. Especially when they tilt their head like, you understood me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do a lot of work from home, so I've got like a little studio in the small bedroom in my house. It's actually the warmest. But like, you know, I kind of don't work with people. So, you know, perhaps going from like a busy design room to now being a bit more insular and working on my own. I think when you do talk to people, it's, I've kind of forgotten how to talk to people. So I'm just like, want to gush everything out in like 10 seconds of, you know, of everything I've done today, everything I did yesterday and possibly last year.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the postman, you know.
Yeah. I'm the same. My other half, Nath, can definitely tell when I've not been at work, because he gets home and I'm like, and just rattle off for hours, and he's like, will you shut up? I'm like, well, the dog didn't respond to me, but he's not responding either. He's just like, oh. My sister always says as well, whenever I see her, like every few months, she's like, will you just be quiet just for a minute? Again, I'm not sure if it's a creative thing, because there are a lot of us that I know are very chatty, and often that's the way you bounce ideas around as well.
Yeah, isn't it? Definitely. I think like when you meet people and you kind of realise that they're a creative person as well, it's almost like you've automatically got something in common. So, you know, you're obviously going to be completely different, but there's just that common ground of, you know, I can perhaps just, you know, act a little bit of a weirdo, because you're going to get me. You're creative, you're going to get me. So I'm going to be a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that makes you feel a bit more confident as well. Like, you know, just, well, I'm quite weird as well. And I think you just, you know, you say stuff or you're talking, and you can be quite flamboyant, and you dress quite flamboyantly as well. And, you know, it's nice to have that other creatives, like similar minds, that can, you just bounce ideas off and go like, oh, I really like that on you, or like, oh, where'd you get your necklace from, or whatever. And, you know, or where have you bought this prop from, or what have you. And I think that's a really nice thing about being creative. I mean, some people, like I say, I'm sure there's people at work who literally see my name on the schedule and go, oh God, I need to bring some earplugs to just tone Charlotte down a little bit.
I do remember back to the shoot that we were doing. I think we did just constantly.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I'm sure people just get like that. Oh, Charlotte's in. Like, we love her, but like, can someone just go and wrangle her, please?
No.
Yeah, I think it's good to be chatty though. I mean, I'm probably too extreme, but it is good to be chatty and just, you know, it relaxes everybody, especially if you're on a big shoot, like your TV shoot or like, you know, some of the big campaigns and things. It's nice to get to know people and have a little bit of a chat, and it just, you relax a little bit then. And I feel like you're better at myself, I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm often better if I've had a bit of a chat. I'm a bit more relaxed. I'm actually a bit better at my job than if I'm a bit nervous and a bit like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And
you do, but you don't.
Yeah. And you have that kind of intrusive thought of like, oh God, do I know what I'm doing? And then, you know, you have a bit of banter or whatever, you know, there's so much banter on set as well in the creative world. I think it's, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's said that would not get away with in offices. You just wouldn't.
Oh gosh, yes, definitely, absolutely, definitely, yeah.
I feel like we're all a bit crude. We're all a bit like, you know, a bit crass, and like you just kind of, everyone's just chatting and just having so much banter, like and it just makes your day go quicker, doesn't it?
Definitely, and she said just make more confident and that you're not some imposter. You know, I don't know what I'm doing in my work. Yeah.
And I feel like that thought happens to everybody. I don't think there's nobody I know who doesn't have that thought.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that you've done the Great British Sewing Bee. I've gone back to it, but I just love that you've done that. I think that's bloody amazing.
Oh,
it's really.
Hopefully, I should be on the credits. Hopefully, I don't actually really quite know. There was one on before Christmas. I sat with my daughter. Oh, I might be on the credits, and I wasn't. So obviously, it was a little bit gutted, but you know, because how they film it, it's all obviously the Christmas is actually shot before the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Christmas is done. Should I be saying
that? I mean, I shoot Christmas in the heat wave.
Yeah. Oh God, that's led me to think. You know, when you just say something really. I remember walking on a set and it was all set up for Christmas, and I mean, this was end of August.
Yeah.
Oh, I just went, where'd you get a Christmas tree from at this time of year? I'm thinking you get Christmas trees at Christmas time, don't you? What's a Christmas tree? Oh, where'd you get that from? You know, just...
Yeah. It's weird though, isn't it? It's weird. When I'm doing still life Christmas over the heat wave, where I'm stood in the smallest gym gear that I can get away with at work and dripping from sweat from the back of my knees, styling Christmas trees. Yeah. Oh God. It's the fucking Christmas lights, honestly. They're hell. Actual detangling hell. You think one set's bad enough at home. It's when you're faced with like 50 sets and they're like, oh, you've got these to do today. And you're like, no, just no. But
I think they look really nice in a bundle.
I'm like, oh, we'll just go with this organic squished roll. That'll do. But yeah, we get Christmas trees. We often buy them kind of this time of year, like January time or December, or, you know, ready for the next year. More often than not, you can get product ones or you can get them from prop houses and stuff. But they do tend to get hired out quite a lot. So if you go a bit late in the season in the summer for, I'll say season in the summer for Christmas, but it's how we shoot it. You end up with barely any, like, you end up with a bit of the rubbish of props because all the good stuff's gone.
Right. Okay. So I didn't know that. See, that's very much like designing in fashion, because I remember years ago of working on Christmas projects in summer. Because I just said about tinsel sticking to you. Yeah, it'd be like boiling hot. You're all hot and sweaty, and you've got some fabric with glitter on.
Yeah.
You know, well, that baby's going to stick down your top. It was all over my steering wheel of the car. You'd come home, the dog would have glitter on. You know, it was there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's August time. So I think it's,
It's very similar.
Very, very.
Yeah, very similar. It's very odd. It blows people's minds when I say, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas because I've already shot it. I'm done with Christmas by like October. And then October runs round and Christmas is in the shops and I'm like, I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm done.
Bring on summer.
yeah, exactly. So it's like this time of year you're styling gardens and you're styling, I don't know, my friend's doing a lot of flowers at the moment and stuff, you know, for Mother's Day and Valentine's Day and things.
Oh, lovely.
But we are like, it's such a nice job, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
that sounds just idyllic. I love gardening. I love being in the garden and outside and
oh, it's so nice. I can't wait for the weather to pick up a little bit so we can get out in the garden here because it's just so nice to get out and potter about. Yeah,
it's really crap today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredibly crap.
Do you grow anything at home to eat, or do you just do flowers, or what's your?
It's just flowers. No, I've tried to grow stuff before. Then I tend to forget about it, and then the slugs will get it, and you know. No, just I kind of like to kind of pot around the garden, really. Not really many flowers. I don't tend to grow in my back garden. I think just rubbish soil or something. I don't know. But yeah, just being outside. I love being outside. And so taking the dogs for a walk, and we used to have as well. Oh, we sold it though. An old VW camper van. Oh my God, we had so many amazing events. This is probably diversifying from the subject, isn't it? But we'd go out camping, went up to Scotland, wild camping. So it's me, my daughter, my other half, and 2 dogs.
Wow.
Oh gosh, it was just amazing. We were like camped up in the Cairngorms, which is wild camping. So obviously that meant you had to go to the toilet in the bush, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I know, I'm some people aren't cool with that. I'm cool with that, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing. We had a big, huge campfire. Just beautiful. And just to be, you could like smell it. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, that sounds dreamy.
Yes, but other half has bought another camper van, but it's sitting on our drive and it needs an absolute ton of work. So that's not going to happen very soon.
He likes to restore, does he?
Well, I think he likes to think he likes to restore them. I think, you know, he likes to sit for hours looking at stuff that he can buy to put in it and do it. Yeah, that's generally. But I'm sure something will come eventually.
Yeah.
Or till be about 30 or something.
Oh, that's the dream, though, to have a little camper and go out with the dogs. And
it was awesome. And just going somewhere. Do you ever go camping? Do you go camping?
We haven't for a long time. Both me and my other half, if we lay too flat on the floor, both our backs go. And we're only mid-30s, so I'm not sure what that says about the state of our backs.
Oh, bless you. Well, a camper van is slightly different because you've got a more comfortable bed. But, you know, when you rock up to a campsite, some places won't let you have a campfire, which is really rubbish.
Yeah,
you just want to chuck some stuff in the fire and a glass of wine and everything. But so when you go wild camping, it's like you can, as long as you're careful, obviously.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making me want to go camp now. I'll have to
in the rain.
I'll have to persuade him the bad back's worth it. Like, come on, let's go. I'll treat you to a massage after, not by me.
There you go.
Because it'll make it worse.
Well, I can lend you the camper van. You just might have to wait a while.
Yeah, I'll keep you to that.
Okay.
I'll knock on in 20 years' time and see if it's done.
Yeah. Still sitting there. Mind you saying that, the old camper van, he was waiting for about 2 years for me to make the curtains. I had to think, I had to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I just put it off because I didn't want to make. That's bad. That's really bad. I can make prom dresses and everything. I just didn't want to make these curtains.
Well, it's just a square, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Bit
they weren't though. The intention was to have like a stripe of 3 different colours.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I know. But then when you've got like 3 quite contrasting colours, you've got to make sure all of your lines are really straight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, my other half's quite a bit of a perfectionist and things like that, and he'd quite easily say, "Oh, you got that bit wrong." So I just kind of held it back, you know.
Yeah. Or intentional zigzags. Just we're going for waves now.
Yeah, I just want to go a little bit asymmetric there. I think it just works with the lines of the body.
Yeah.
Bullshit, you know.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Oh yeah, it's intentional, that like wobble.
Yeah.
I remember when we moved house recently, actually, in May or something last year, and we'd painted our living room dark green.
Oh wow.
But it was stunning. But once we were, I mean, I'm going to say that it was my own work. But once we took all the pictures off the walls, we had quite a big gallery wall. We realised how drunk we were when we were painting it, because it was so shit. It honestly, I cannot. It was. There was bits where it was really thick. There was bits where it was really thin. It was stripy. It wasn't supposed to be stripy. It was supposed to be solid colour. And I don't know where we both thought, yeah, this looks all right. I do remember Nath just like slopping colour up, like paint on really thick. And I was like, it has to go on thin. So I think probably the thin bits were probably me and the thick bits were probably him.
Right.
But you know, when you start in opposite corners of the rooms and then spin round and... Oh, Jesus, it was a bloody mess. So I feel sorry for the people who bought it, because they not only had to go over dark green, but they had to deal with our bad DIY.
Brilliant. Drunk painting.
Oh, yeah. Never again. I'm gonna go to work and pay someone else to paint it properly this time. It was just too much.
Brilliant.
Too much. Well, on that lovely DIY ownership there.
I'm off to paint my living room green now, Charlotte.
Yes, there you go. Just don't do it drunk.
No.
But yeah, on that lovely note, it has been absolutely lovely to have you on the podcast today.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
I've really enjoyed chatting to you. It's been so lovely to have a bit of a catch up and find out all these lovely projects that you've been working on, and it's been really nice to chat to you.
It's been brilliant chatting to you too. I hope I haven't waffled too much, but
no, not at all.
Thank you.
I mean,
yeah, it's been really awesome.
Oh, lovely. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, follow and share, as it really helps this little podcast out. And if you have found value in the podcast and you have the means to, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. This will help keep the podcast going. Join me next week for another fantastic guest. Bye!